Muhammadu Buhari is hosting 2 West African leaders since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. Reasons for their visit to Nigeria were not made public, and the high-level discussions held with President Muhammadu Buhari took place behind closed doors. NTA News, however, learned that issues of common interest between their countries were discussed, as well as those affecting the West African sub-region and the entire continent of Africa. Addressing newsmen shortly after, both President Macky Sall of Senegal and that of Guinea-Bissau, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, were full of gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari for his sincerity of purpose and selfless leadership in the sub-region.
I want to salute the great action of Nigeria against Boko Haram and how Nigeria is supporting the cause of this war, even in all the Chad Basin area. And also his support in ECOWAS, because in Mali, in Niger, and Burkina Faso, we have a very serious situation.
We say thank you very much, President Buhari. We call him Baba. I give this name because his leadership makes some difference in the world. And I have for him in my heart, honest man.
President Embalo recently named a major road in his country's capital city, Bissau, after President Buhari as a mark of appreciation for his enormous contributions to peace, stability, security, and democratic enterprise in Guinea-Bissau. The 3 West African leaders also discussed the present situation in Mali, which President Buhari had earlier described as welcoming and reassuring.
As you know, ECOWAS was very involved since the beginning. They have 18 months transition, so we help and continue to support this transition, and we hope by the end of December of next year, they will come back to the normal institutional situation, and they will have election, and they can come back very strong.
Key officials of the governments of Nigeria, Senegal, and Guinea-Bissau supported their leaders during the high-level engagement that lasted about 1.5 hours. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, has solicited the assistance of Pakistan in building Nigeria's defense industry, especially in the production of weapons. He was speaking at a meeting with a delegation from the Pakistani Senate. Ignatius Unko reports.
Inter-parliamentary visit from the Pakistani legislature to the National Assembly. Chairman of the Pakistani Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Hussaini Saeed, led the delegation of senators to the President of the Senate. Senator Lawan, who acknowledged Nigeria-Pakistan's 60-year-old relations, commended the South Asian country for her support in the fight against insurgents in Nigeria, as he also called for more assistance.
In the area of helping Nigeria to build our defense industry, we started together in the 70s. For some reasons, we are still struggling to get stronger in the area of manufacturing or producing our needed defense weapons.
You against the Boko Haram and we against the Pakistan Taliban. 75,000 Pakistani soldiers and civilians have been martyred in this war. And we did it on our own, like you did it on our own. And when we supported you with small arms and other weapons.
The visit was primarily to seek Nigeria's support for the chairman of the Pakistani Senate, Mohammed Sadiq Sanjirani, who is vying for the office of President of the Inter-Parliamentary Union in November this year.
What we require in IPU is reforming IPU to make it more robust and vibrant candidature as far as the Nigerian Senate is concerned.
For the first time in the history of the Global Parliamentary Association, its election will be conducted virtually from the National Assembly. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Committee on Environment has invited the Minister of Environment and all parties in Ogoni cleanup project to appear before it Monday next week to explain delay in the completion of the project. Chairman of the committee, Johnson Oguma, said this as resolution of the committee when the minister failed to honor its invitation to appear before it. John Yaku has details.
After After the committee's oversight to Ogoniland shortly before the outbreak of COVID-19, it has been interfacing with stakeholders at the National Assembly to unveil reasons for the delay in completion of the project. Individuals, civil society organizations, and contractors told the committee that only 6 out of 21 lots have been completed because of some issues.
On assessment of funds and mobilization to sites that really impeded the progress of the job. The people do not trust the cleanup. That is simple language, what I'm saying.
The major challenge has been correspondence, delays in correspondence, or administrative inactions.
If the fund have not been appropriated, different in turn. If fund have been appropriated, and to make use of the good use of the fund, it turned out to be a problem.
The permanent secretary in the ministry represented the minister. This did not go down well with the lawmakers.
And I think, Mr. Chairman, we cannot shave the man's head in his absence.
If it does not come, then we may have to take other serious steps to ensure that it comes here.
This committee wishes to assure Nigerians, particularly the Ogoni people, that the Ninth House of Representatives will, by the grace of God, ensure the restoration of the environment to its natural state and the provision of alternative livelihood options to the people whose lives have been affected.
The Board of Trustees, Governing Council, NNPC, and oil companies in the area are also to appear on the same day. John Yaku, NTA News.
Civil society organizations monitoring the recovery and utilization of looted funds and assets have commended the federal government's open engagement with CSOs on the utilization of the funds. They say the looted funds were injected into some developmental projects that have direct bearing on the lives of Nigerians. This is the consensus of the CSOs drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to a Mantra Project Learning Summit and capacity training on the proper utilization of looted funds in Nigeria. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
Since 2015, when President Muhammadu Buhari took over the mantle of leadership on Nigeria, one of the priorities of his administration has been the adoption of stringent policies that will nip in the bud the activities of corrupt elements in the country, as well as recovery and proper utilization of looted funds and assets for the benefit of Nigerians. From the $322.5 million Abacha loot, ANEJ and its partners monitored the utilization on the conditional cash transfer to a total of 834,948 households, with more than 23 billion naira expended as of 2019.
This is one of the most transparent programs of the federal government because everybody knows how the money is spent, everybody knows how much goes to the beneficiaries.
Civil society engagement with the government has translated from confrontation to collaboration. And it's one thing that is key to development.
ANEJ and its 8 partners drawn from the 6 geopolitical zone of Nigeria have mobilized over 800 community-based organizations, crisscrossing the length and breadth of the country and internationally, with 3 key objectives of advocating for return of assets stashed in foreign jurisdiction.
But then what we're talking about is the direct impact it has had on these people, on their lives. And I think that is what we need to measure at some point in time.
What is important for us is to remain persistent to ensure that we continue to improve outcomes.
Statistics has shown that Nigeria loses over 40% of its national wealth to corruption. Hence the federal government's commitment to block all sources of corruption in the country. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the movement of progressive youths of Nigeria has commended President Muhammadu Buhari on the giant strides achieved in the last 5 years in all the sectors of the economy. The national leader of the movement, Remigius Nwonu, in a press briefing says there is no sector that the administration has not touched positively, even at a time when the global economy is facing challenges. The group therefore urged Nigerians to support the administration's policies by ensuring that they contribute their quota so that the country will be on the path of global competitive standards.
We were in an era before the emergence of President Buhari when the driving force in politics was to be in government, to loot not just now, but the future of the country without recourse to the unborn children of the nation. We had experiences where government was borrowing money to pay salaries. But today, all those anomalies have been corrected. Government is not borrowing today to pay salaries.
The All Progressives Congress APC Ebonyi State has passed votes of confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari and other party stalwarts at both federal and state level. The motion was moved at the end of a peace meeting of critical stakeholders and leaders of the party at the state's Blessing Anyanwu reports.
In line with the vision of the party to achieve the desired results, the APC in Ebonyi State in a peace meeting deliberated and resolved to overcome its internal disunity, which contributed to its abysmal performance in 2019 general elections. Leader of the party in the state and Minister of Science and Technology, Omonaya Ono, believes that the party has the capacity but for its internal faction. He called for peace and assured them of support at the national level.
The APC family in Nigeria expects APC to form government in Ebonyi State in 2023. The journey has started, and whatever challenges, problems, or whatever that we have, we will overcome them. The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari remembers you. So I am confident, very confident, that APC will form government in the Ebonyi State in 2023.
The party leaders resolved to take appropriate steps to synergize with the national body to better the lot of its members, among other decisions reached.
That all factions, all bickerings today, all leaders have accepted to bury it for us to move forward, re-strategize for winning elections in 2023.
With the coming together of the APC critical stakeholders, members are reassured of a strong and formidable party in Ebonyi State. NTA News.
Adiola in Lagos has the next sets of reports on Nationwide. Hello, Adiola.
Hello, Foma. Good to see you. The Food and Agriculture Organization, in commemoration of this year's World Food Day, is advocating the momentum of global awareness and action for individuals who suffer hunger. Dotun Oguyemi takes a look at the challenges and prospects for Lagos residents in search of this critical daily need.
Food, by definition, is any nutritious substance that people or animals eat or drink, or that plants absorb in order to maintain life and growth. Going by this definition, living things are not capable of surviving without food for too long, which explains why people work hard to earn a sustainable income. A larger percentage of an individual's daily or monthly income is expended on food. The food business has remained profitable, especially in an overpopulated state like Lagos, which explains why makeshift restaurants called Mama Put and fast food eateries litter the city's landscape.
Nigeria needs to encourage farmers and discourage importation of staple products that will have agricultural and environmental advantage.
Growing at the rate of 2.5%, Nigeria will be over 400 million people. How are we sure we are going to be able to feed them if we do not focus on agriculture now?
While this is the case, its popularity also raises concerns with regards to nutrition and health. The Food and Agriculture Organization states that over 2 billion people lack access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. Nigeria is, however, making giant strides that are aimed at ensuring food sufficiency and security. This feat is corroborated by the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture, with the Immortal Rice Mill soon to come on board.
I want to assure Lagosians that hopefully this mill will be completed by December 2020.
Despite the burden of the COVID-19 pandemic, government has taken steps to ensure that farm produce get to the market to meet the demand.
We are very concerned that we reduce wastage to the minimum, and we want farmers to have value for their efforts.
Please identify this youth and see how they can work with them, see how they can, tap into their knowledge so that to use to produce food for the Nigerian and for the African, and also use that to create employment.
The 2020 World Food Day is a call to action to scale up structures to strengthen food systems towards protecting the well-being of individuals. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
And now to water transportation. The United Kingdom says it will support the Lagos state government in expanding the spectrum of water transportation through technology. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Catriona Lang, stated this when she visited the Lagos State Waterways Authority at the Falamo Jetty. Lynn Leneke reports.
Considering the peculiarities of the mega city and its affinity to gridlock, water transportation made possible by its aquatic nature becomes the next best option for a large percentage of Lagos residents. The waterways serve as routes for easy movement of human and cargo, thereby reducing enormous pressure on roads. In addition, water transportation provides high returns on investment and should be fully harnessed. The visit by the British High Commissioner to the Lagos Waterways Authority is to evaluate the investment opportunities available in water transportation and how British investors can harness the potential in the subsector.
We're just at the point now where we're really getting to the stage of the detailed design and hopefully bringing in British companies also on the ferry side, as well as doing the detailed engineering design and the design to ensure that it ticks environmental and social boxes as well.
To come and see how well the investment has done so far, and obviously even with the very interesting year we've had, to also see reasons why to continue to support the fund as well.
Representatives of the government of the UK also reiterated the desire to deploy state-of-the-art boats to Lagos for a more viable water transportation system. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
It's time for us to go on a break. Nationwide will continue thereafter.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring great personalities from all walks of life. Expository interview with a young TV presenter who shows passion on what she does, Morayo Afolabi Brown of TVC. Pick a copy of this compendium of mind-blowing stories and get abreast with issues as regards media convergence, leadership, health, star profiles, star programs, fashion, sports, human angle stories, and lots more. Meet some media professionals within our space who have paid their dues in no small ways. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Live is brought to you by Axis Bank and Babai Jebu.
Yes, that's the painful effect of what corruption costs you. But what does corruption cost us all? Watch Bad Guys on NTA Network, 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday from the Akin Fadeyi Foundation. Bad Guys. Who are the bad guys? Join us.
You're welcome back. Now, the waves of protests since the alleged abuse of citizens' rights by the banned Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad, FSAS, has blew the excesses of the EFSAs beyond proportion before local and international communities. Now, the Citizens' Actions for Good Governance is calling on Nigerians to be conscious of protesters under the guise End SARS, as some of their motives do not reflect concern surrounding the issues prompting the scrap of the squad. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
Nigerian police had in recent weeks experienced a setback in the operations of one of its crime-fighting arms, EFSAS, following agitations and attacks on some of its officers and men in parts of the country, leading to the emergence of End SARS protests.
We want to unequivocally state at this junction that the dimension the protesters have assumed is really becoming worrisome, because we see that the protests have been hijacked and other actions are seemingly described as unbecoming and threats to national security.
This, the Citizens' Action for Good Governance is condemning, as the purpose that should have given rise to the avoidable protest was tackled in its early stage, and wonder why some Nigerians are bent in threatening operations of the police.
We call on Nigerians to see reasons and rise up to stop the protest, because their demands has been met by dissolving the SARS, and other 5 demands are all met by the police authorities on the orders of President Muhammadu Buhari.
The group commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his endorsement of the IGP ban on SARS and commitment to reform the ban squad and empower the police with professional, sophisticated know-how of fighting modern crimes and criminality. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Inter-Party Advisory Council has called for calm and peaceful resolutions to the End SARS protesters nationwide. Timothy Yusuf reports that this has become necessary, especially as their demands have been acceded to by the federal government through the scrapping of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad at all levels. Chairman of the Council's Interim Management Committee, Dr. Leonard Nzenwa, at a media briefing in Abuja, explains that the present administration is fully committed to the peace and development of the nation. The media briefing is essentially to commend President Buhari and the Inspector General of Police for their prompt response to the wishes of the people as regards the condemnable activities of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The Council, however, calls for restraint on the part of those who have continued to disrupt public peace to refrain henceforth. While the Council stands on the side of the people, it believes that lawlessness must not be condoned in whatever guise. Also, a Vienna-based Association for Good Governance network has joined other interest groups from within and outside Nigeria in identifying what they described as good leadership exhibited by President Buhari on recent dissolution of the Federal Anti-Robbery Squad and the fight against corruption. In a statement, the global chairman of the association says the association is strongly committed in promoting good governance by supporting President Buhari on his ideals for a better Nigeria. The statement further called for more support from Nigerians and the legislature, especially stopping prolonged judicial processes for confiscation of the proceeds of crime. The Austria Association equally commended Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, ICPC, and other agencies fighting corruption. Now, the gradual failing of the rich societal norms and values of Africans in preserving the chastity of a woman is giving critical stakeholders serious concern in the face of increasing abuse of rights of the girl child. This is why the Nigerian Television Authority is leading aggressive media campaign through its Brainchild project, Stand Against Rape and Rapists, to change the narrative. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
We stand against rape. We stand against rape. We stand against rape. We stand against rape.
Experiences and emotions thrilled the official launch of the Stand Against Rape and Rapist project, an initiative of the NTA to right the wrongs and give voice to the voiceless.
It should be an opportunity for people to speak up, to show support for victims of rape. You don't know it if you don't feel it.
Now that I have spoken, you are returning me to my uncle who abused me. What happens to me?
If we were to follow the provisions of the Penal Code and Criminal Code by sentencing people to life imprisonment, I'm sure it would have served as a deterrent.
For the NTA to take lead
in its new campaign, Stand Against Rape and Rapists, I think we have reached the tip of the iceberg.
The broadcast code especially encourages broadcasters in Nigeria to promote the dignity of womanhood.
Stakeholders lauded the social commitment championed by the NTA and advocate strengthening of existing laws and formulation of policy frameworks to fight emerging challenges of this common enemy. The First Lady and other key players in the End the Rape campaign say the determination to eliminate the social pandemic is a lifetime commitment which requires support of all and sundry.
The resurgence of rape cases in recent time, which has affected many women and girls, even infants, has led to a renewed action from stakeholders, including Future Assured program.
The ministry mobilized wives of the state governors to form a coalition to address the menace of gender-based violence, and especially rape in our country.
The Nigerian Television Authority started its own campaign to ensure the total eradication of sexual and gender-based violence in all its ramifications.
As the unveiling of the new roadmap to achieving maximum protection of the rights of the defenseless begins, the hope of victims and vulnerable persons is for many to take cue from the NTA in defeating the open scourge. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Sadia in Sokoto is ready with more reports on Nationwide. It's good to see you, Sadia.
See you too, Ifoma. Sokoto State Government, in collaboration with UNFPA and Canada Aid, has intensified its efforts towards improving reproductive health care and easing the conduct of obstetric fistula repairs. This is coming as the wife of Sokoto State Governor Maria Amin Waziri Tambuwal inaugurated a theatre room dedicated to obstetric fistula repairs at Goronyo Local Government. Shehu Muhammad Detti reports.
In Nigeria, vesico-vaginal fistula is a major cause of maternal mortality and marital disruption, as well as eventual destitution among women. VVF is caused by obstructed prolonged labor and lack of access to good healthcare facilities. As part of efforts to reduce the destruction by VVF, Sokoto State Government, in collaboration with UNFPA and Canada Aid, had rehabilitated this facility in Goronyo General Hospital to be used as a center where obstetrics fistula repairs can be conducted. Wife of Sokoto State Governor Maria Amin Waziri Tambuwal underscored the importance of reproductive health, stressing the need for husbands to allow their wives to go for antenatal care.
Between Sokoto State Government and their partners, over 47 million naira was expended in the renovation and installation of equipment and other installations to bring about this center.
Representative of the development partners assured continued work towards improving reproductive health. The BBF Center is expected to serve people of Goronyo and the entire eastern Sokoto zone. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Now, internally displaced persons in Yobe State are to receive relief materials from the Kebbi State Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service. Nuratan Kokili reports that delivery is in line with federal government's directive. The report.
The items include over 1,000 bags of rice, 256 kegs of vegetable oil, and 197 kegs of palm oil. It also includes bags of sugar, cartons of pasta, Chinese green tea, and bales of new textile materials, among others.
The government is very magnanimous in trying to make sure that these items are released to them as relief materials so that they can have succor.
Comptroller Hafiz Kalla said Nigeria Customs Service is determined to work with relevant agencies in protecting Nigeria's economy by containing all forms of smuggling activities. He said within the last 1 month under his watch, the command has recorded 27 seizures of contraband items worth over 20 million naira from smugglers.
The Comptroller General of Customs has been able to provide technology to be able to uncover the presence and places and the heights of all these smugglers.
He solicited for the continued support of the public to the customs and other sister security agencies to achieve their mandates of safeguarding Nigeria and its economy. In Birnin Kebbi, Nura Tanko Wakili, NTA News.
Yeah, it's back to Ifoma in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Sadia. And now to education matters. The ongoing dialogue between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, is to continue on Wednesday, 21st October, to enable the leadership consult their organs on the offers and agreements reached at this last meeting. Presenting the outcome of the meeting, Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, said that government pledged to pay 40 billion naira, being the pending and academic allowance of university teachers. He explained that out of that amount, 30 billion naira will be paid on or before 6th November, while the remaining 10 billion will be spread equally over 2 tranches to be paid on May 2021 and February 2022. Though the federal government agreed to fulfill its financial obligations to ASU members, particularly outstanding salaries and earned allowances, the parties could not agree on the mode of payment. The president of ASU, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, appealed to government to treat the matter as a national emergency, as the education sector needed urgent intervention. Now, Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All is seeking partnership with the media in promoting access to quality, inclusive education for the marginalized and vulnerable during and after crisis. Haman Jabani reports that the coalition made this plea during a media engagement with media executives.
The Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All, which came into being in 2000, is aimed at contributing to the shaping of policies on education in Nigeria. It also provides a platform for monitoring, evaluating, and reviewing implementation of all education goals and projects. The collaboration with the media, it believes its strategy of policy input, advocacy, capacity building, campaign sensitization, and mobilization can be fast-tracked. This explains this engagement with media executives. The media chiefs pledge their commitment and support to education at all levels.
I have developed and continue to develop programs that will advance the course of education in Nigeria, because we believe that if the populace is educated, of course, 90% of our problems may have been solved.
To educate a girl child, you are educating the whole nation. They are the mothers of the nation. They are the ones that we still bring up our own children to be able to value education, value the society, and have moral values.
And so you can't take over without the necessary educational skills and tools in you. So the focus has to be really on girl child education.
And for the coalition, the partnership will see to the full realization of its mandate.
What we have been lacking before is the commitment of the media to amplify what we have been doing as a network, because we have a limit in which we can reach out to target audience. And then with the media, now the problem is almost solved.
The Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All operates a national, zonal, and state structure with membership of over 600. Hamman Jamani, NTA News.
Development Commission is steadily reconstructing the Northeast region as the federal government intensify efforts to completely rid the region of insurgents. Emmanuel Akila reports that in Gombe, the commission is turning attention to agriculture and youth empowerment for job creation.
Besides the provision of infrastructure and other amenities, the Northeast Development Commission has the mandate of restoring the agricultural potentials the Northeast region is known for.
We have designed a very integrated agri programs so that our people will go back to the farm in a more organized, a more value-driven ways.
The Agricultural Mechanization and Modernization Scheme by the Northeast Development Commission, targeted at restoring agriculture in the Northeast region devastated by insurgency, also provide job opportunity for the youths.
Like you can see all these machines now, they were not coupled like this, we are the one that coupled it here in Nigeria.
To effectively give the youths a holistic psychosocial therapy, the Commission has set up information communication technology workshops in Gombe, equipped to train the youth to be self-reliant. Civil society organizations have been watching the approach by the NEDC in rebuilding the Northeast region.
They are carrying everybody, every stakeholder is engaged and is involved in the processes.
The Commission inspected facilities for increased opportunities to expand agriculture and the Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe, where it intends to install a polymerized chain reaction machine for testing COVID-19 samples. The Commission is replicating this in the 6 states of the Northeast region. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And from Gombe, we turn our attention to Katsina, where the federal government has reaffirmed resolve to adopt strategies necessary to ensure all crimes bedeviling parts of the country are fully eradicated and put to a halt. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola said this at a town hall meeting on stakeholders' engagement in internal security and conflict resolution held in Katsina State. Awal Haliru reports.
Town hall meeting, which was convened by the Federal Ministry of Interior in collaboration with the Ministry of Police Affairs, engaged critical stakeholders with a view to identifying from them the root causes of security challenges. This was to find a lasting solution to banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and other organized crimes in the state. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola said the federal government is concerned over security situation in the northwest. The minister noted that President Muhammadu Buhari had given a marching order for them to do whatever necessary to put an end to the activities of criminals in the region.
The stakeholders in their own words, eliciting from them how we will support the process of containing and eliminating those challenges.
We bring out a robust conflict resolution mechanism to engender security, peace and cordiality among various groups in Nigeria.
For Governor Aminu Bello Masari, the stakeholders engagement town hall meeting was an addition to the Katsina State government efforts to addressing the insecurity situation in the state.
Anything about security, we give it the priority it deserves.
The stakeholders engagement meeting indicates a continued partnership to ensuring that policies are formulated for effective maintenance of law and order in the country. Awal Haliru, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force says it is repositioning the provision of accommodation for personnel in response to the evolving nature of insecurity in the country. Defense correspondent Naja Atutijani reports from the 305 Special Mobility Group, Calabar.
Aircraft woman Suleiman Sikirat and her counterparts have just been posted to the 305 Special Mobility Group, Calabar, home of the Super Puma helicopter. They are about to receive the keys to their new quarters, a place for them to rest after the day's duties, as the evolving nature of security threats in the country has necessitated their deployment, along with countless other Nigerian Air Force personnel across the country.
The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, on the commissioning of 30x1 transit accommodation for the airmen. The 305 Special Mobility Group was established to survey and secure southern axis of the Nigerian airspace. Headquarters Nigerian Air Force has more planned for these bases, which will unfold as time goes on.
On behalf of personnel of 305 Special Mobility Group, we say thank you, sir. You have continuously placed welfare as your topmost priority.
A room like this in Calabar can cost anywhere from 180,000 to 200,000 naira per annum, excluding the furnishings, but will save the airmen and women the worry of finding suitable accommodation when called to duty. The Nigerian Air Force says as it continues to evolve strategies to protect the territorial integrity of the country, it will continue to prioritize personnel welfare so that aircraft woman Sikirat and her counterparts can continue to execute their duties to the highest professional standards. Naja Atutijani, NTA News.
Now, October 15th is a date set aside annually to reawaken consciousness on global concerns on the need to wash hands always with soap and running water. Kenneth Nanim reports that the Federal Ministry of Environment is also using the day to promote environmental sanitation and hygiene practices amongst Nigerians in the face of COVID-19 pandemic.
Sanitation for all is number 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which seeks to close the gap in the public health, especially in developing countries like Nigeria. In the wake of coronavirus pandemic around the world, more awareness campaign on hand washing and personal hygiene practices took the center stage as a major means of containing further spread of the virus and other infectious diseases. The Federal Ministry of Environment is using this year's Global Hand Washing Day to promote public health by urging Nigerians to imbibe the habit of regular hand washing with soap and running water, at least for 20 seconds, to stay healthy. The message here is that citizens should take personal responsibility on regular hand washing in line with the theme for the year, which is hand hygiene for all.
Let's say we have a vaccine developed, let's say tomorrow. Will everybody throw away hand washing? No. So this is something that I can assure you will be sustained. The people have seen how important it is. It's in every single government programs and project.
On behalf of some unity schools in the FCT, Vice Principal, Federal Science and Technical College, Orozo, appreciates the donation of hand washing facilities by the ministry.
We already have some of these items in school and we are using them in line with the COVID specification. We are going to add these ones to them and maintain them and make sure our students make proper use of them.
The donations were made by the ministry with a resolve to monitor compliance. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Let's now go to Ibadan, and Kemi is our guide. Hello, Kemi.
Hello, Ifoma, and welcome to Ibadan. The ongoing protests rocking the country for an end to police brutality has been described as a wake-up call to the leadership of the country to put things in order. Governor Seyi Makinde stated this during his visit to the palace of Showun of Ogbomosholand, which was attacked by protesters. Ayomiko Adibola has the details.
The governor who went round the palace of the Showun of Ogbomosholand to assess the level of damage done to the historic palace approved an immediate release of 100 million naira to the monarch for the renovation of the palace.
We will have to engage with our people. And the heart of this is not just the issue of SARS. And it's a wake-up call for us as leaders.
While appreciating the governor for his visit, Oba Oladunni Oyewumi.
We sincerely apologize for the poor audio from the Ibadan Network Center. Let's take a break now. Nationwide continues in a moment. Please
follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Do you desire to upscale your skills and capacities for better productivity? Then you need to attend the following courses organized by NTA TV College, JOS: Photojournalism and Photography, date 19th to 30th October 2020. English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters, date 26th October to 20th November 2020. Protocol Event Management and Public Relations, date 2nd to 13th November 2020. Intermediate Camera Operation Techniques, date 2nd to 13th November 2020. Intermediate Online News Reporting Skills, date 16th to 27th November 2020. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant, while the fee for other courses is 80,000 naira only, accommodation inclusive. Venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
NTA News 24.
A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank and Babai Jebu.
Welcome back. True to predictions made by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, flood from the river Niger continues to destroy thousands of hectares of farmlands in Nigeria. Onenge Fineface reports that several communities in Esako Central Edo State are currently submerged in water.
After about 6 months of forced closure of schools as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, the announcement that academic activities will resume in Nigeria was greeted with wild excitement among students. Sadly, not all the schools in Edo State will be reopening as announced. Osagbe College in Udaba will not be opening for academic activities.
Yes, because of the flood, there is no classroom is vacant. All is occupied by water. Because of that, the students cannot be able to go to school. Even the teachers cannot be able to go to school.
Now, that school is not the only part of Udaba affected by the flood. The entire community is currently underwater. The locals here are basically farmers who depend on agricultural production to survive. An elder here, Matthew Ojo, says he invested huge sums of money to plant crops. Unfortunately, he will not be harvesting any because the entire farmland is also submerged in water.
Well, there's nothing I can do. Dan, if anybody can help me. And before I can be able to meet up again, it will be next year.
Blessing Abdullahi, a mother of 4, is one of many persons affected by the flood in Udaba. She is back to the community, like others, trying to rebuild what is left.
Even business, customers no see way to come again. We dey sell rice, even the farm does spoil. No money, nothing. We just do.
Udaba Pere is reawakening to solemn recovery. Indigenes piecing bits of their lost livelihoods together. They carry basins of hope on weary heads, determined to survive the flood. From Udaba, Esako Central Local Government Area of Edo State, Onenge Fineface, NTA News.
Mohammed in Maiduguri has more for us on Nationwide. It's over to you, Mohammed.
Thanks as always for joining us in Maiduguri, and we begin with the environment. As part of collaborative efforts to fight desertification, deforestation and other environmental challenges, the Federal Ministry of Environment has established College of Forestry in Borno State. This was brought to the fore when the Minister of Environment, Dr. Muhammad Abubakar, paid a courtesy visit to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum at the Government House, Maiduguri. Mohammed Goni reports.
Borno State is one of the 11 prawn-line states that are under the Great Green Wall project because of its strategic importance, in addition to presence of other agencies under the Federal Ministry of Environment. The visit by the minister was to have a feel of what Borno State needs and how the Federal Ministry of Environment can assist in providing such needs, especially livelihood to those living in the dry zone areas. The minister said the ministry has millions of seedlings in Borno and has planted about 500,000.
We know His Excellency has been very diligent in terms of environmental management, planting a lot of trees, and we are here to do more. We have planted more. We are going to plant even more.
You are aware of the arid nature of this state, and I believe with the establishment of the College of Forestry, the government and people of Borno State will benefit a lot with a view to combating desertification and enhancing climate action.
Governor Babagana Umar highlighted devastation caused by the insurgents to the flora and fauna species, as well as contribution to environmental degradation, expressed readiness to collaborate with the Federal Ministry of Environment to achieve the objective of preserving the environment. The governor also stressed the nexus between preserving the environment and sustainable development. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
4,200 households of IDPs taking refuge at Farm Center camp in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, have benefited from the monthly food distribution exercise of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development being carried out through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Abubakar Mohamed Musa reports.
Since introduction of the routine monthly food distribution program for IDPs, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development through the National Emergency Management Agency had sustained the intervention towards ensuring that persons of concern are carried along. Beneficiaries of this particular phase of the food intervention program, who are mostly IDPs from northern and central Borno zones, have described the development as worthy of praise due to the sustainability of the federal government in reaching out to them.
Abincin daidai suna kawa suna bamu. Mun gode musu.
Ana bamu abinci wataran ba zai kai wata ba. Kowa abinci zai ishe shi.
Kowane wata yana bamu abinci mu daidai yadda dama aka rubuta mana.
Kafin wata cip abincin mu ya riga da muna samu biyan bukata da rufin asiri.
The food distribution exercise for the month of October 2020 has been designed to cover 38,000 households in Borno State.
By God's grace, before the end of this month, everybody will receive his food items. Well, hopefully in the next 10 days, we are going to finish the round of this month.
This assistance is likely to continue pending the return of victims of insurgency to their ancestral homes, which is on course. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Back to you, Ifoma, in Abuja.
Thank you, Mohammed. Now, reports just reaching us states that President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the gratitude of the country to Professor Tijani Muhammad Bande, the immediate past president of the United Nations General Assembly, for making Nigeria proud. Receiving Professor Bande, the country's permanent representative to the UN on Friday at the State House, President Buhari commended him and the UN Deputy Secretary General, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, for meritorious service. The president used the opportunity to ask for patience and understanding of the country's development process, saying that it is something that takes time, but expressed optimism that advances in technology, education and experience will help to speed up the process. Professor Mohammed Bande expressed gratitude and appreciation to President Buhari and the entire nation for supporting him in his year-long tenure as president of the 74th session of the UN General Assembly. And for some sports news now, let's join Badi Adele.
The velodrome of the Moshood